are unable to find safe refuge. The United Nations World Food Programme estimates that up to 400,000 Palestinians have been displaced since the assault began, while some continue to remain within the city. Let's in fact listen in to what some Palestinians had to say.
يعني معدومة الحياة، معدومة جدا، معدومة ما لقيناش مكان. لفيت في كل الجنوب عشان بس الاقي نقطة آمنة اقعد فيها، ما لقيت، فلجأت للمنطقة هذه المعدومة عشان بس أسطر حالي وأسطر أسرتي وأسطر إخواتي وأسرته كمان وأبوي وأمي وأسرته.
نحاول نمشي شوي صرنا نجري زي هبل. أنا صعب كتير هنا، يعني ما نروح يمكن بالشوارع نرتمي، فيش خيام ولا في إشي، أنا يمكن بالشارع لأن ما عند الله.
Meanwhile, Gazans are searching for survivors after an Israeli strike leveled a 4-story building in the Nusayrat camp. Using hammers, they are working to free victims trapped under the rubble. Let's in fact listen in to what was said.
صار انفجار ضخم جدا، انفجار قوي، يعني عمارة 4 طوابق سويت بالأرض. ضرر كبير جدا عند الجيران من هنا ومن هنا. أنا جارهم من هنا، تصابوا أولادي كانوا نايمين في الغرفة هذه، وأنا وزوجتي كنا نايمين في الغرفة هذه، لدرجة إن يعني أشلاء الشهداء وصلوا عندنا في الغرفة وإحنا نايمين، وسمعنا صوت صراخ مصابين في الشارع، وانتشروا حوالي 6 شهداء والباقي تحت الأنقاض. لسه عملية الإنقاذ ضايلة لهالحين، بيحاولوا يطلعوا باقي الشهداء من تحت الأنقاض.
Mohammed Usman, International Relations Specialist, is joining us live from Cairo, Egypt. Mohammed, what do you make of these latest sound bites coming in, even as victims in Gaza continue to talk about their plight?
Thank you for having me, Uday. It seems that Israel is carrying on with its brutal ground offensive in Gaza City with the aim of imposing control over the entirety of the city, depopulating it entirely, and basically demolishing it, wiping it off the map. The same thing they did with the city of Rafah down south in the southern part of the Gaza Strip on the border with Egypt. They did the same thing also with the town of Beit Hanun in northern Gaza, and many other cities and towns and villages across Gaza that were completely obliterated and wiped off the map by the Israeli occupation forces. It seems now that Gaza City, the main urban center in Gaza, will face the same fate unless a ceasefire comes into effect within the next few days. Prime Minister Netanyahu is adamant to pursue his absolutist military objectives in his war on the Gaza Strip. He seeks to basically, at least what he announces overtly, is that he wants to topple Hamas and secure the release of the hostages and the detainees. However, also he seeks to depopulate Gaza and remove the population of Gaza from the strip, basically forcing them out, which of course is an act of forced displacement, an act of ethnic cleansing, which is a war crime, as you very well know, Uday.
Do we expect this ground offensive to continue in the next days as well? Is this going to be the prolonged strategy of Israel?
Unfortunately, so it seems. The indications say that Israel has put forward plans to permanently occupy the Gaza Strip and impose security control. Prime Minister Netanyahu himself, in his speech at the UN General Assembly, vowed to impose security control over Gaza and install a civil government of his choosing. And of course, this collides with the Trump initiative. There are many reports that are leaking to the press right now that the Americans are putting forward a serious plan to settle the war in Gaza that was presented to Arab and Muslim leaders on the margins of the GA Assembly Summit a few days ago, when President Trump met with several the leaders of Pakistan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Turkey, and Indonesia, and others, and he pledged to end the Gaza war. And the plan indicates that Israel has to withdraw, the hostages have to be released, and a new transitional government will be imposed on Gaza, which will be led by former British Prime Minister Tony Blair, with the participation of members of the Palestinian Authority. And of course, it entails the disarmament of Hamas. The plan is far from perfect. It's not good, but it's definitely better than what the Israelis are proposing, which is basically the resumption of the genocide day.
All right, Mohammed Usman, thank you very much for joining us with your perspective on that story. Now, Colombian President Gustavo Petro has condemned the U.S.